Hello. Today we are going to be making a string ensemble patch. It sounds like this. In addition, I set up some riffs that kind of demonstrate it as well. So this patch is for 80s, 90s dance, and also for maybe some disco. That was what I based that's what I modeled this patch off of. So let's just get to it. Let's dive right in. So the first things first, we're going to open up every oscillator and bring in basic shapes. Now, for each basic, we're going to set each one to a saw. It's not basic shapes. Give me a basic shapes. All right, so everything's going to be a saw. You can use any saw for this. Oscillator 1, 2, and 3. Oscillator 2 is going to be an octave high. Oscillator 3 is going to be an octave low. We're going to set the envelope to kind of this high tension short attack. And then a release about like half a second. All right, so to do the voicing here, each oscillator is going to have 4 voices at 3% detune. And the levels for each oscillator, oscillator 2 is going to be a bit higher. Oscillator 3 is going to be at 30% about. So, sounds pretty string-like, but it's not an ensemble yet, and that's where the chorus comes in. So we're going to use a chorus of 8 voices with the settings set up like this. So 20 milliseconds of delay 1, 3-ish milliseconds of delay 2. Set the cutoff a bit like that. So set the cutoff at like 50. Reduce the spread a bit, and that's about it for the chorus. Next up is we're going to add a filter to all of the oscillators, and this is going to reduce some of the higher frequencies at lower octaves. So we're going to add a key track. It's going to be a 24 decibel filter. But we're going to keep the higher frequencies, and we're going to add a bit of resonance to brighten it up as well. So, key part of these strings is you want brightness, because these are going to be played at higher octaves. And onto brightness, we're going to start with fiddling with the effects, because this is now pretty much done. So we're going to go with a high band compressor. When to set the high band to pretty low, or to about 1, and then the middle band to about 7. Reduce the gain a bit, doesn't need to be huge. No attack, and then reduce the release to about 30%. While we're on this, you can see it's peaking here. What we actually want to do is set the velocity tracking, because we do want this patch to be velocity sensitive. just tweak it so it's not in the red anymore. And then we're going to reduce the spread a bit. That keeps it more towards the center of the stereo sphere. I wish Vital would not have spread it 100% by default. All right, so we're going to add an EQ with a high pass filter here. It's just going to be cutting off the higher frequencies and then adding, again, a little bit more brightness. So it's a resonance like so. And you can really notice it. If I turn it off, you get you'll get like a piercing sound if you don't filter out those higher frequencies. And then now we're finally going to add some delay, ping pong delay, dotted 1/16 tempo, then reduce the feedback and the mixing. Set the spread so that it's cutting off the higher frequencies again a bit. And then as well as a tiny bit of reverb. So now if we test this patch out, oops, keep it in the center. So one thing that we could add to this is a little bit of tremolo. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to change LFO1 to a sine. So LFO1 is going to be hooked up. So in the matrix tab, we're going to hook that up to global voice tune and then move on to LFO2, which is going to be a ramping up envelope that's going to be at 1/4 tempo. We're going to keep this smooth here because we don't want it to be crazy extreme, but we will have it at 1/16 frequency. And the way we're going to set it up is going to make it bipolar and then take LFO2 and link it in. We just need it to be so this kind of simulates the rapid tremolo you would do with the violin bow. I think I don't play violin, if you didn't know. I also don't play piano or keyboards or anything. But that's tremolo or vibrato. I get it mixed up. And that's the whole patch. I will include a few more macros in the download below, but that's just some extra adjustments and customizations. So I just want to keep it short. Everyone have a good